Hi, beautiful Aries. Welcome to a new era. My name is Emma. Aries, we will just jump right in and see what's going on for you. This is very much messages on your awakening path, messages on your ascension path, messages about what you can use right now on your journey forward. So this is basically all of September. I'm going to start with a little bit of a different intro here, using the Mystical Wisdom deck and just see an overall energy there for you, and then we're just going to go deeper and deeper into the message. You're going to have plenty of time to figure out whether this is your reading or not, to then feel if you want to come to the extension or not. So Aries, for the month of September, what's going on for you, please? I'm asking about information, inspiration, and humor. I love this deck. It's so beautiful. Wow. Children, know that your children are protected. Gorgeous tiger. Like there's a child just resting next to that tiger. I feel like this flower is sort of just flying around in the air, flying around in the universe, up in the sky. Big strength card there. So let's see what this is about. It's like rest assured. Like there's enough strength or there's enough power to bring something about, or to just or bring something to close, if that makes sense. I see this little tiny hand. Like this little tiny girl hand is like resting on this huge paw. The huge foot paw of the tiger there. So it's like there's something about even though you might feel small or almost insignificant in terms of like I don't know what to compare it to. This is sort of like a grandiose comparison, but like, okay, if we compare our puny little body here on planet Earth in comparison to all of the universe, or all of the universes, like all of the dimensions and whatnot, we are just we're so freaking tiny in comparison, and so it can feel sometimes a little bit overwhelming, like goodness, like how small we are in comparison. If this is used sort of in comparison to something, or like you're trying to land something, if that is a contract, if that is a work situation, if that is relationships, if it's a relationship, like who am I to be wanting to be a part of those guys up there, like in the top, or who am I to want to be in a relationship with that kind of type of person, or you might even like know who this person is, or like who are you to think that you could actually get in contact with this person that maybe is very, very, very well known in their own field, or like there's something like this little tiny girl who has like but it's like you are in the works with big strength, with big power here, and it's like, I want to say, it's not too much to ask for, and you're not too little, and you're not worthy, or you are significant enough for you to make this type of connection. Does that make sense? It's a very powerful moving forward, and it can even be like, are you allowed to have this big type of a dream? Who are you to ask for this type of dream to come to fruition? Like, is that even for Aries a little bit too big? I would say no. Okay, so can we clarify this? What is this message? Going deeper into this. Power. Goodness. So the tiger and then the lion underneath it. This is very, very cool. Like, okay, so we're clarifying strength, we're clarifying like this major thing they're going for with the power card. And I love this power card because it sort of signifies, like, we have half is like man and half is animal. And to me, this is like when you unleash the animal within, like you unleash the power within to just come out and be a part of all of this. And like when you just recognize what you're sitting on inside of you and like what you're capable of, and stop to second guess yourself or stop to belittle yourself, like talking yourself down, like you can't do this type of thing, or you can't be a part of this thing, or I can't be in that type of relationship, or whatever this is for you. Yes, you can. You surely can. And it's sort of like a reminder. It's interesting because we might think always, I mean, I do these readings and it's very much about being on your spiritual path. You're on these, you think you're on this journey to, okay, so maybe you have this question in your head, can I be in this grandiose type of relationship? There's a reason why you all of a sudden feel inspired to go after, or not even go after, but at least have an inspired idea. Like, okay, can I be a part of that community? Can I be a part of that, like the lead of this organization? Can I ask for this type of like really what in your mind is a really successful relationship, like a romantic partnership or like a business partnership or whatever? The interesting thing is that we think like, okay, in order for you to get to that relationship or in order for you to get to like, can I really have that? But if you reverse it, it's like you have just gotten an inspired idea to reach somewhere in order for you to unleash what you have to become in order to get there. And it's not about getting there. It's about what you will unleash and what you will sort of bring out in yourself on your way to get there. It might sound like I'm saying the same thing twice, but I'm saying complete opposite. Like one perspective is I just have this idea that I want to be in this most fabulous relationship. And please, can I have it? Or like I want to be on the top of the game in some sort of organization or some sort of business. And it looks like I just spit there, very, very charming. It looks like it's you wanting to get to the top of something, but this is you actually knowing and therefore inspiring yourself from your own higher self, from your own inner being, from spirit, from source, that, okay, we know that if we send this inspired idea to Aries, they will go after what they think is a wish or what they think is an idea. But in fact, what they truly want is to feel their complete power. And I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm not talking about power in the sense that we're going to, being in charge of other people. This is just understanding completely innately who you are. And number 8 there is the power number. It's also the infinity sign, endless possibilities, endless opportunities. I love this with the tiger and the lion. It's just so much strength and power. And whatever journey you're on right now where you think you want to do something, or you think you want to participate, or you want to help. It can even be like you've asked, how can I be of service in this? And you think it's about them. And yes, as a consequence, it can be about them. It doesn't have to be an either or. It's a both, but it's what you will discover about yourself in the process of getting there. So, what else for beautiful Aries for the month of September, please? You have me. Oh, another number 8. An accelerated motion. I do apologize. You just that really flew out there. So we have 2 number 8 on the table, which is really powerful, and then we have number 6, which is all about moving on. So I'm going to start with the accelerated motion. Well, they're very intertwined. So it's almost like you can't do one without the other. So you're moving on into the light. Like this is basically, okay, it's almost like you just have to make a decision. It's like you don't even have to Do you know sometimes, sorry, I'm a little bit itchy in my nose. You know, sometimes if you have, I'm trying to find an analogy about this, but it's like, okay, if you have heard the news that something really fabulous is about to take place, like somebody just called you and said, you got it. You got the contract. You've been bidding on a house and you got the house. You've been wanting to get, like, you have been applying for a job and it was down to 2 or 3 people and you were amongst those 2 or 3 people and they give you the call to say you got the job, or just anything. It doesn't have to be that. It's just anything where you figure out, like, you will get this money in time, or you will have something. And yes, there's been a call, there's been a conversation, there's a knowing, but the money is actually not in the bank yet. You haven't had your first day at the job yet. You haven't gotten any type of keys to your house yet. This is like finding out that you really wanting to be pregnant and you find out that, like, this little stick shows you that you're pregnant. You don't feel anything physically yet. There's no baby here yet. You know, it's just the knowing of it. It's just the information of it, the news about it. So nothing has really shifted, yet everything has shifted. So there's something about understanding, you know, there's not actually anything that is different right now for you to make this shift or for you to feel this way. There's something about making a decision to sort of just come into that feeling of, I am pregnant. I have, those money is gonna come through. I got the job. I got the date. I don't know, like whatever it is for you, that you're just, I'm just gonna make a decision to go for it. It's like you just have received a knowing or information that I'm gonna do this. So there's this moving on, like it's like you're stepping out into the light. You just decided, I don't know how it's gonna be. I don't know how it's gonna come about. I don't know where it's gonna lead. Really, I just decided I want to be a part of it. There's something that makes me think about, so I'm from Sweden, and so we have this Swedish, I don't even know what to call him, but I guess he started out as a comedian from the beginning, an actor, comedian, and, you know, he was doing this interview, and he said, I just always want to be, like, he had this feeling like, can I come? And people would ask, like, to where, to what? And he would be like, I don't know. I just want to be a part of it. A part of what? Where it happens. And like, he didn't have like anything real to pinpoint, like saying, I want to become this, and I'm going to sort of get my education to get to this. He just had this feeling of, and I so could relate, and it's so that comes up here today. It's a very fitting analogy of what I'm feeling. Like, you want to, can I come? Be part of the big party? Like, to be a part of the, where it's happening? I want to be a part of it. It's like, Aries, if you hear that there's a select, like, okay, so there's, I don't know, the 144,000 chosen ones. I don't know if you guys have heard of the 4 or the 500. There's the 4 and the 500, and then there's we have the 20 selected ones. We have the, you know, as soon as there's like a group, there's like okay, this is the selected group. It's like a feeling of, I want to be a part of that. How do I get to be a part of that? And if you think that if everyone hears that they're going to be a part of it, no, they're not. This is very much about what I've picked up here today in the energy, that like there's a feeling of, I want to come, I want to be a part of it. In Swedish he said, jag vill vara med. Jag vill vara med. I want to be a part of that. So there's something about a decision here. You're moving on, you're stepping on into the light. Like it's like, okay, I'm hanging on to this thing. I shared this analogy in the past, or you know, kids learn to walk or whatever, and they're sort of, they get a hold of their sweater, and there's nothing, you know, that really is keeping them in balance. But it's just a feeling that as long as I hold my sweater, if I drop my sweater, I'm gonna fall down. If I hold it, I'm gonna be able to walk a few more steps, you know. And so you hold on to this thing that actually has no, it is not stuck anywhere, but it's like you if you just hold on to it, whatever that thing is, like a lucky charm, or if you think that if you can just hold on to this little thing that actually is not anchored in anywhere, so if you dropped it, it doesn't make any difference. But for you, it feels like if I just have this thing, okay, I'm just gonna make a decision. I'm just gonna go for it and just see what happens. And just you making that decision, Aries, is gonna have the accelerated motion. There's gonna be like here we have the. It's interesting because now I'm drawn back here to the tiger of the flower that blossoms with a little girl there. It's like sitting in the sky. It's sitting in the universe. And here it's like, okay, it's fascinating because it's like it's you from two perspectives. It's like here we have the idea about it. Like, can I be a part of this? I feel so tiny compared to this, like to this blossoming huge thing that could take place. Like resting against this powerhouse, this tiger. And it's almost like in this card, you're standing on the ground, like this is the tiger and the girl. Like watching it take place from a perspective, you're watching it take place. It's like we're from two different perspectives observing this. Like one perspective is that you're in it, you're doing it, this is you, you're blossoming, you're leaning against power and strength, and the tiger is with you. The power from within is coming out. And another perspective is probably when you sort of just it's not like you lose your footing, but it's like a little bit of a different perspective where you don't feel in it anymore. So I feel like you're going to be a little bit in and out of the perspective of it, and understand that even though sometimes you sort of lose your momentum, but you lose your perspective, or you lose your vision about it, and feel like, you know, I felt so good about it yesterday, and I was like so on the go, and this morning just, I'm not this. This is not going to work. Like this is, you know, and then it's like you're just observing it from afar. Like that's a beautiful vision from afar, but it's not, you know, it might not be mine to have. To sort of just continue, it doesn't even matter if you are the vision or if you're looking at the vision. I just feel like there's so much momentum that has picked up around it already that you're gonna have a really hard time not to obtain this. And I think sometimes that's just nice to hear. Like it's just nice to understand that, okay, sometimes when it feels like it's not enough momentum, or you don't see enough evidence of this thing that you want to achieve is gonna come about. And sometimes just hearing that, you know what, it doesn't matter if you even fight it for 2 or 3 days, to sort of almost work against it for 2 or 3 days. And how can you work against it? By not believing that this should happen, or not believing that you are capable of making anything like this happen, or who are you, tiny little you, to be a part of that big organization, or like whatever this is. That it doesn't even matter that you're trying, like the stream of it, the current of the flood is like it just has been moved to. It's like asking the Niagara Falls to stop flooding. You can stand in the midst of Niagara Falls and just sort of feel all that water on you and feel like almost bombarded. It will feel really heavy if you want to start to sort of work against the Niagara Falls, if that makes sense. But if you sort of just it's not going to swallow you whole, but I'm telling you, you've created enough momentum around this, and the momentum is you have accelerated momentum as you just make a decision about it. As you just step into the decision about it, it's yours to have. And even on the day where you feel like this is not gonna happen, oh yes, it will, because you picked up too much speed about it. And we have, like I said, 2 number 8 here. So endless possibilities. There's so much power around this. There's a wish fulfillment here. The shooting star. You are the shooting star, by the way. So I'm going to continue in the extension and see what else I can find for you around this. This is very cool. So if you feel like, yeah, this is my story, I completely understand what you're talking about, you're so welcome to the extension. The link to that is in the description box down below. If not, thank you so much for watching, Aries, and I hope to see you back soon. Bye, guys.